Hello, good evening. Hi, Jim. Hi, anybody else that's popping in. Just trying to clean this off. I keep a mat on top of it, and I didn't realize how dirty it was going to get underneath. So this is my glass mat from Glassboard Studios. And like I said, I usually keep a mat over it because this glare, this glare, this glare. A lot of glare. Hi, Linda. Hope everyone's well. I was trying to watch Ryan Hall, y'all, and he was just frustrating me because he was doing all kinds of tech stuff and not getting to the point. And I'm a kind of a to the point kind of girl. So I finally said forget it. I'm just not going to watch anymore cuz I know that we're either going to have ice or we're not. So there's that. Ooh, that was a weird glitch. Anyway, in tonight's video, yeah, my camera does not like my glass either. In tonight's video, let me put the pad back on here. We are going to be doing a little bit of melting of wax. And I'm not talking about the kind of wax that you put wax seals on. I'm talking about actual wax. So there's a woman that I follow on Instagram. Her name is Jennifer Beebe or JB Arts or something like that, but I linked her down below. I got a little bit of an OCD about this mat has to be on straight or I'll go crazy. Anyway, I saw her do this technique and she did it with beeswax. And so I bought some beeswax. And the first thing I'm going to say is if you decide to try this and want to buy beeswax, do not buy this brand. This stuff stinks. There is no way in the world this can be real beeswax. Just no way. So, don't buy this one. It works, but it stinks really bad. So, and I was talking with my friend Christy, and we were talking about other kinds of waxes. So, I did some testing, and we're going to test live. But I did some testing, and I want to show you the results and talk about them a little bit. So, we talked about our Scentsy bars. The only thing about the Scentsy bars is the smell is really strong. If you have smell issues, maybe not. Yeah, the bees need to change their diet. Hi, Chow. Hi, Lori. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Vicky. Hey, Linda. Jim. Um, but they work nicely, and I like that they don't have a super greasy feel. So you can see that this was printer paper. This is the printed piece. This is the coated piece, and it's translucent-ish. And I just printed this on regular recycled printer paper. So, but these will work in a pinch if you want to try this technique. Use your Scentsy bars. And then I tried one with the Walmart brand, just out of curiosity. This is the beeswax one. And it feels a little bit greasy, not too bad because I wipe them down pretty good. But this is the Better Homes. And same result. So wanted you to know that there's other things. And then for Andrea, this is just plain old tea lights, plain votive tea lights. And so we talked about would you get much color out of like the Scentsies because they do have dye in them. And I don't notice it. Do you? Maybe a tiny, tiny bit, but not really. So this is plain wax from Chill. These are the cheapest one I can find, the kind you get like 500 in a pack. So, if you want to try this and you have tea lights and you're not saving them for when your power goes out, or other reasons, you could try. And all I did was I just took my little razor knife and I just shaved it. You could grate it with a cheese grater or just break it up. But, um, the results are great. And there's no smell. All I can smell is the Scentsy ones. They seriously smell strong. So, My whole house smells like them now. But these smell like, let me see, what do they smell like? Ugh. You know how brand new cheap rubber boots smell? Like the work boots you get from Walmart for like 30 bucks? Yeah, they smell like that. They smell like boots. So, I want to show you how to do the technique. And I'm going to do it tonight because my nose is just done. I've had it with the smells. I'm going to use the unscented votive candle. And I'll show you what we're looking at doing here. So I've done a couple of these. This is kind of the finish that you get. Um, it's just this, well, you'll see. So we did this one today, and we did this one today. I did the woman the other day, but this is layered, so you can actually layer. She's layered on something else, and you can see the words on the something else she's layered on. And then this one I didn't do. This is just a one for fun because I like that lady and I wanted to use it. And then I've shown, if you follow me on Instagram, I've shown my cat one, which this whole thing has the wax coating on it. And I melted on some glitter, which was fun. Some of the Tim Holtz glitter, the chunky. And this is a template that I made because I don't have a die. And what I did, and I just wanted to show you, was I took my happy planner thing that I never use, and you can unscrew these, and then if you take off the bottom, you can just push them out from the bottom, and then I've got them stored away in case I ever do want to use this full strength again. But then I just took and, whoop, there's all my mushrooms. I just took and made a mark at the, so that when I poke these in, they're consistent with where they need to punch. Can you see the mark that I made? So, yeah. Um, if you want to do these little memory decks things, which they're fun to do, they're quick. You can get a couple done in a day versus, card making and stuff like that. Let's get those out of the way and let's do a little bit of waxing. Wax on, not wax off. And I printed some stuff um, to play with. And what I want to do is the wax will melt down onto your surface. So I guess I should plug my iron in first thing. I'm going to use an iron, but you can also use a heat tool, and I'll show you that. But you're going to need the slow heat tool and a fast heat tool. Most of us have both. Um, let's see. Yeah, I took out, okay, we have to turn the iron on too. And you only need to go about medium. This I got on Amazon. It's just a little travel iron. Just make sure there's no water in it. It heats up nice and fast. And my printer's almost out of ink. I used my cheap printer. So let's start with this right here. And we're going to do some collage. So let me move other crap out of the way. Grab my ruler. See, this right here is where I ran out of ink on my Hewlett Packard. And I'm in their club, but they haven't sent me ink in a long time. But I've still been paying, so hopefully they'll send me some ink pretty soon. And you can tear these after the fact too, by the way. So I'm going to grab a little extra piece right here. And let's just tear this like so. And you're going to need some parchment paper. And I just reuse the same parchment over and over. So it doesn't matter. And let's see, are you hot yet? She's getting there. Let's get you a little bit hotter. I have it at about 120. So I'm just going to take my wax, and this one is a piece that I've already done too. And I really like this one because it's just not super greasy, so I feel like it'll glue easier. And this is a heavier, this is a 100-pound piece of paper, and it's still semi-translucent. See my finger going through there? So you're just going to take some of your wax and just kind of break it up and spread it all over the piece. You don't want to go too much because it's a waste, you know. But you do want to, you know, if you want the whole piece covered, you want to make sure that it's, you know, you've got enough on there that's going to melt out. Okay, and then, so again, if you want to follow Jennifer, she has some really cool techniques. I do have her Instagram. I couldn't find a YouTube for her. I'm just going to lay my iron on here and let it melt. But I actually like this wax way better than the beeswax, even in the way that it works. So the beeswax can tend to get a little thick, and that's probably because of the pellet size that it's in. Okay, and yeah, you're going to get stuff on your iron, so it'll clean off, no problem. And you just kind of wait for this to dry, and it doesn't take long at all. And you can already tell that this is mostly translucent, almost like a printed vellum. It could go a little more translucent to be called true vellum, but, and then what I like to do is take a rag, flip it over, and kind of wipe down the backside a little bit, just so my glue sticks better. And I haven't had any problems at all with my Linaco PVA glue getting this stuff to stick. But I do like to kind of just wipe off any excess. And so you can also melt it. I'm going to show you how. So yeah, you can't really see the translucent very well under this, but let's put it over top of something. Yeah, this one's not, probably because it's too solid of a print. Let's try something else that's not so solid. La 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 la. Let's try this one. Hey, Carrie. So it does give a nice shine. You're right about that. Let's use this one, and let me show you how to do this without an iron. We'll just take this little piece right here, and I'm going to spread some wax on here. Just kind of spread it out, and then I'm going to take my heat tool, this heat tool, okay, because it doesn't blow hard, but it blows hot. And I'm just going to start the melt. So once these kind of melt and start sticking to the paper, like so, then you can move to your regular heat tool, which blows, and that's what I want it to do. So Carrie, the wax I'm using is actually, hang on, from a votive candle. So I would say it's not necessarily paraffin, but you could try paraffin, whatever they make those votive candles with. You can use beeswax, but I hate the smell of the beeswax I bought. It's not real. So see, when I'm using this heat tool, I'm able to spread this wax around easier than with my iron. All I got to do is just lift it and let it pour. I can flip it over real quick and try and saturate it with what's melted down there, and then smooth it right out. So that's how you do it with a heat tool. If you don't have an iron, or you don't want to buy an iron, or you don't, you know, you do use your iron for travel. And we'll just give this a minute to cool. Actually, only a few seconds. It's wet on both sides, which is fine. And as it cools, it kind of, you can tell. You can tell that it's done. And then now that shows the translucency a little bit better because it's not such a solid printed piece. Mine is not quiet, Delise. It is that I have a microphone that cancels out excess noise. So that's why I keep telling Elizabeth, get a new microphone. So it's a, I don't know, it's in my Amazon store. That I probably pulled off the sticker that had a name brand on it, but anyway, it's super noise canceling. A muffler on an 80s car. So this feels a little bit greasy, okay, and I don't really want it to be that greasy. So I'm just going to take my rag, and you can use a paper towel too if you want to, and just kind of wipe on the back a little bit and wipe some of that excess wax off of there. And now it's, yeah, I hate that sound, but you want to be careful when you're wiping it off that you don't wipe it all off because then you lose your translucency. But you can see my little S through there and stuff. Um, I know she gets frustrated with me too, but I get frustrated with the noise, and not so much normal day-to-day noise, but the noise of the heat tools and long, for prolonged periods. So we talked about we're doing collage, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just tear the white off of this because I don't want it. You could keep it if you wanted it. There's nothing wrong with it, so don't think I'm mad at it or anything. So what we're going to do here is we're going to fuse a couple of these together and start building a collage. So I'm going to take my little wax and I'm going to put some here, and it's kind of gathering together because my heat tool got it warm. And I'm just going to spread this a little bit. I feel like the heat tool actually almost works better, but that is what it is. I'm going to lay my piece down on it, and this piece has already been waxed as well. And then I'm going to grab my, okay, where did it go? Oops, see what I forgot to do? Forgot to put this up under, and I want that up under because it's kind of a little bit of a pain to clean off these little mats. It's not, I mean, it's not the end of the world or anything, but I'm just going to lay my iron down. Get this pressed till I see the wax coming out. And then lift. And then those are fused. I got it crooked, but that's okay. And I'm just going to kind of give this a little wipe so it doesn't have a bunch of rough edges. Yeah, no, it's not a collar one. It's this. That's tape. That's tape runner. Let's see if I can get this to come over any further without breaking it. It's this. Oh, it's a Fine, Fine. There is a sign on there. And I just have it on a on the mount that it came with. All right, let's add some more to this. So we've got already a couple of pieces of collage going here. And there you can really see the translucency. Okay, and so let me grab a piece of ephemera here. Oh, let me see here. Let me find my doilies here. Let's find a doily that will go nicely. And these, I have a video on how to make these. These are coffee filter doilies. Let's do, no, I don't want that color. I think I want the light green. It's a great microphone, and plus I'm filming on my iPhone, which also has its own little noise canceling, but I'm using my microphone for my sound. So let's get this guy over here. Now these are a little bit trickier, but I'm going to put my wax down. And I want wax all over this on the inside and outside. So just going to throw a little bit more on here. I probably have way more than I need. And let's just pin that down. So adding the wax to the doily itself helps strengthen it. But sometimes it doesn't want to stay down. Oh, look, it almost just disappeared right into there, didn't it? Because it was so light in color. Let's wait for it to dry and see what happens. So that's mostly just adding texture, which is really stinking cool. Love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, let's put, oh, hang on. Did I bring it in here? I got some Happy Mail today with some little postage stamps in it. Hang on one second. Let me go grab it. I thought I brought it in here with me. Okay. Look at this card Ginger made it for me. Isn't that cool? It's got this tiny little bear shaker. But wait, there's more. Talking about doing the insides of your cards. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So it looks like she used like some glossy accents and a gold pen to create that inner portion. Anyway, there are some postage stamps in here. Oh yeah, and please use my link. I haven't gotten anything from Amazon in about 9 months. So Amazon does kick you back a little bit, but they don't give you anything until you've earned $10. And once you've earned that $10, they give you an account credit, or they give you like a gift card. And so you can imagine. Let's see, these are neat stamps. Oh, I like that one. It's pretty. A dirigible. Oh my goodness. What is this? I don't want to use. Uh-oh. I'm afraid of these stamps. I'm afraid I won't use them because they're too pretty. Oh, maybe that one. It's nothing wrong with that one, but it's real small. And let's see, what else? Do I want to glue this down? I think I want to keep this in the wax family here. So I'm just going to add just a teeny bit of wax right here. And a little wax on top. Wax on, wax on. Can I share the, you can share the title. A title of what? Oh, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with OBS because it seems to be doing fine for me. Again, I film on my iPhone. My iPhone is directed, oops, now what did I do? I pulled this off. My iPhone is connected to my iMac. Oh, you're crooked. It's still wet enough to turn. I don't want you crooked. You guys know how I am about that. There we go. Oh, now dang it, Bobby. Well, you got to be careful if it's warm and wet because it will come right back up. Let's just do a quick press and lift. There we go. Quick press and lift. So now, and then I moved my stamp again, and I'm not going to try to move it again because I keep messing the whole thing up every time I do that. Well, maybe I can do it. Maybe I can. There we go. And just give it a little bit of a press. So here we are on the collage. Now this is all background, all. So I need a focal image on here, and I have my art house Whimsy because it's probably some of my favorite lately. And let's see if I can find the little dogs that I cut out. Okay, never mind the dogs right now. Let's get some weirdness going on here. Because I'm trying to keep. Now listen, when I cut these out, I keep all the scraps. So, like for instance, I cut her out, and this may have been her background, it may have been somebody else's, but I keep all those scraps. I don't think I want her though. Maybe I want Gearhead. Oh, maybe I want Gear Granny. You guys know how I love my grannies. Oh yeah, she's going to make a fabulous focal. She goes with the colors, etc. But before I lay her down, maybe I want to toss a little piece of fabric in here. These are just scraps, like strips, because of something I made in my past. I made these dream catchers, and oh, I think I want this yellow. I crocheted, and it's huge round, and then I made like tassels to hang down from them out of all my batik because I don't quilt anymore. I'm going to grab a piece off of this, just a little one. I don't need a big bunch. And I'm not entirely sure that I want it waxed down either. I think I might want the texture of non-wax with that. So I'm going to glue this down like so, and I'm not going to wax her because well, let me think. Yeah, I think I will wax her. Okay, let's wax this bit. Oh, lady. Yeah, I like freaky stuff, you know me. I like the freaky stuff. A little wax under, a little wax over. That's probably way more wax than I need. I'm trying to keep it on her as much as possible. What I want to do is be careful that I don't move her. And I did. No, I didn't. Okay. Hey, Shalana. Yeah, I like her waxed. Let's lift it so you can see. And I left the bottom open because I'm going to be trimming that off. Okay, take care, Lori. Thanks for coming. I love your granny. You're not stuck there. Stay stuck. Let's give her a little bit of a rub. Make sure everything's staying stuck down. So every time you melt this, you risk moving things. There we go. I'm going to rip her legs off here in a minute, so look away. Nobody said you had to behave. If they did, then shame on them. Let's see, how do I want to rip this? Do I want to hand rip it? I think I want a little stability with my rip. And I think I want my rip to go nice and parallel there. Okay. So now anything more that goes on here is going to go, we'll make the little card. So my template, I've got, and I like to use watercolor for these because I like them to be nice and sturdy. So I'm going to cut this down to, I think I'll go 3.5. Now on the, you know, the sizes vary from what I've seen so far on these things. What do we call them? I already forgot what they're called. Memory Dex cards. And then I want this to be 4, but the width is 4 because that's the width that I made the box for. Did I lose the detail of the stamp? What do you think? Maybe a little, not much. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and make my punches here. And I'm just kind of placing this in between the 2 black marks that I made, punching down. Congratulations, Delise! Woohoo! And I think I want to lay this all down on something more sturdy. I wish I had my backgrounds. Well, that's fine. I don't. Well, actually, I have a bunch of them, but not the right size. Let's see what I have here. Oops. See, we're way too wide, so I have to keep it more narrow down towards the bottom where it's going to fit into my box. Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I'm just going to punch her. And I'm just getting her centered, eyeballing it pretty much. Between these 2 pieces, I'm not worried about the doily right now. Hey, Christy. So this could go right over top of that. So I need to do something with this. And the first thing I'm going to do with it is something with the corners. So I'm going to grab one of my punches. Let me turn off my iron for a minute. This thing heats up really fast. I'm going to grab this fancy corner punch and fancy up the corners. And then I want this to be colored, but I don't want it to be dark colored. think I'm going to go with antique linen. You love the wax collage. It's fun, huh? Oh, maybe tea dye. No, no, we're going to go with antique linen. And I'm just going to use my spray because I'm lazy. And you can cover the back of them too if you want to. Hey, Amalia. So I like these better than ATCs because, well, I mean, you can put ATCs in a little box too, I guess. So, but you have a little bit more real estate to work with. And you can go wider up high if you want to. Let's grab a paper towel. A little lifting there, and then let's do a little stamping on it. What stamp do I want? I have here a bucket. Well, it's not a bucket, but it's a container with all my most used, frequently used stamps in it. And yeah, none of them are in their wrapper. And some of them are getting all bent up, and it is what it is. It's my stash. You do you, I'll do me. um, I'm looking for, this is one of my most favorite Tim Holtz and his flying heart. I love that thing. Okay, we've got a little frame. I love this one. It's Technique Junkies, but it's not going to work for this particular application. I'm looking for my Andy Skinner, certain one. No, yeah, Andy Skinner. It is Andy Skinner. Where are you? They might still be in their container. Oh, they are. Okay. I love this one right here. I got a little bit of writing. I don't need writing though, necessarily. I mean, this has writing on it, but whatever. Okay, we'll do just a little bit of stamping just to kind of make more interest in the background on our base piece, which only basically these parts are going to show. So this here is an old Technique Junkie stamp, which is one of my absolute favorites. You can see I use it a lot for gel printing and stuff. What color? Don't do that. It's annoying. Let's go. I'm going to go with Speckled Egg. And I'm going to use Distress Oxide. And I realize I'm getting it all over the stamp, and I only need it to stamp this much, but that's okay. Yeah, I like that. Okay, I've got that one done. That's not water, that's alcohol. I think I want to do a secondary here. So you see how I got that all nice and wet? Bam. Just going to smack it down. And that's going to be a different color when it dries because it's oxidized now. Well, I'm gonna be thinking about all y'all that live in the Northeast. Even if we get the GPS or GFS models are now kind of trending away from Huntsville as far as snow and ice, but I don't know what that's gonna mean, if it's gonna happen or if it's not. Let's get this stamp down. We'll do that with some. Let's do that with vintage photo. Can barely see it, but that's okay. And then we'll use this little frame. You won't see most of that, but I'm stamping it anyway. Now, for this lady, I want to show you something else. And this is not my original idea either. I saw someone else do it and I thought it was a fabulous idea. So I have here a little flat paintbrush. So see how that's flat and it's rather stiff. And then I have here Stays On ink. Because this is wax, regular ink's not going to stick to it. I'm just going to take and get my brush wet with my ink. And I'm just going to come around my little gal and create a little bit of a shadow around her so that she stands out a little bit more. May have to do a couple of coats, but the Stays On will stay on. That's why it's called Stays On. So see how that lifted her a bit? Okay, come on. Get in there where I want you. But you can still move it around while it's wet, just to get that little shading going. It's very hard to see, but it's there. Spread that out a little before it dries. And that's just going to give like a little bit of a separation. Just down one side. I'm going to move that around a bit before it dries. And then I can take and close this one up. I have another Stays On, which is Spiced Chai. Oh, thanks, Meg. And I'm just going to edge this. I could use my edging tool, but why not just rub it on? Like down here, she's white. I don't want that. I'm not going to mess with my doily because it's a little sensitive. Oh, I guess we need to bring that stamp out a little bit more. Let's do that. So, I mean, I'm not so concerned about a snow forecast. I'm concerned about an ice forecast because the whole place will shut down, but moreover, we'll probably lose power, which, you know, when it's below 19 0 degrees outside, and you don't have power, you're going to get pretty doggone cold. And I'm an old person. So, friends, check on your elderly neighbors. Actually, I'm highly prepared, but that's because I prep no matter what. That's what I do. I'm a prepper. Don't judge me. It's anxiety driven. And there we've got our stamp back. Standing out a little. I think I want to stand it out a little bit more. So let's just move that shadow out just a bit. I think it was Lou Journals. I saw her doing this with a brush and ink, and I thought, oh my gosh, all this time I've been struggling to get this done, and how well that works. Okay, back to business. I want to edge this, so I'm going to grab my regular stuff. Yeah, I mean, I have gas burners, I have a camp stove, I have a cowboy coffee pot. It stays pretty warm in my room. In fact, I'm always too warm, but then the people downstairs tend to run their heater a lot and don't understand that hot air rises. They're freezing their butts off, and I'm roasting to death. Let's sturdy this up just a little bit more. Just add some random dirt. And then a little bit of random water splatter. Brush, I need my brush. Any one of you guys will do. Here we go. In case any of that shows through, which probably won't. Hey, Lisa. I'm going to glue her directly here. Wonder where my glue is. Right here. So the glue I'm using, and I almost exclusively use, it is called GinaK, and it's a PVA glue. In fact, it's not glue. I think it's adhesive. And you guys know I have a whole long video on the difference between glue and adhesive. Where are you? Where are you? The shadow knows. Come here. Lord have mercy. Yeah, it's adhesive. So it's archival, pH neutral. Looks by hand, GinaK. And I just fill up these little bottles with it. So I'm going to only glue this bottom portion at first, because I might want to stick some more things on. And I might want them tucked up underneath. And then I'll just match this and just give it a little press. I don't think I really have room to tuck anything underneath without, well, I wanted this piece of fabric, but let's see here. I heard some places in Ohio are going to get pretty hammered too. But you guys are going to get snow, I think. That's not in the cards for us. Oh, it could. I mean, it could still happen just because, you know. I don't want that under there. So always give yourself room to add more stuff back behind before you commit. Let's see. What did I do with my... I think that's all I want to add to it. I might add some jewel. I want to experiment with one other thing before I close off for the evening. So remind me. I think this would be fabulous with some gems on it, or actually, I want grommets. So I'm going to grab my crocodile here. And let's see, yeah, set it to 3/16. This thing's sometimes hard to push. And this is just going in a random spot. I'm going to poke a hole right here. And let me see if I can get one fairly straight underneath that-ish, straight adjacent. I got them pretty straight. Yeah, ice is super dangerous. It'll shut Huntsville down, no problem, because we just are not equipped for anything. We're not equipped. 1 inch of snow shuts us down. I think these are the ones that I have to finagle the holes to get these to go in. Oh, they're good. Let me make sure I have this on the right setting. I don't think that's the right one. I never know which is the right one, to be honest with you. There's no actual tutorials that I could find on how to do this properly. So I just wing it. Oh yeah, I like the hole in there. Let's do the second one. And then I can lay something through there if I want to. Did I get it? Pretty close. Time is it? Okay. Try and get that in a square knot. Okay, and scissors. Now you can do the backs of these if you want to, and I probably will at another time, and then maybe write down the technique that you did or whatever. But let's get her in my dex box. And these don't fit, as my dowels are a little bit on the big side, but it's, you know what? I used what I had. So here she is in the decks. You know, this may be hanging a little low. I may have to trim it, but whatever. So before you know it, I will have this thing full, and it will have mostly Art House Whimsy, but you can do these in any kind of theme that you want, whatever you're in the mood for. But I want to try one thing before we close off. Let me turn my iron back on. Okay, I did turn you off, right? Yeah, I did. Okay, and let me find an embossing powder. Oh, I'm gonna have a heck of a mess to clean up before tomorrow morning. If I do, if I if I bother to. Let's use a neutral color and let's use this tree branch. Oh, you know what? In fact, let us use something more fun. Let's use this baked texture patina oxide. Let's find I think I'll just do one that I've already done. Or maybe not. Maybe I want to do a different one. I don't have a lot of stuff printed out on thinner paper because I don't. That's why. Oops. I don't want that color though. Where's this? Okay. We'll test it out on this. Why not? We're just doing a test anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a stencil. I want something with a rather thick edge. We don't know if this is going to work or not. And I'm going to grab my magnets and just kind of magnet it down so it's sitting as flat as possible. I'm going to grab my this stuff. And I'm just going to kind of just lay it down on here. I'm not trying to move it around or anything. I'm not trying to get it too thick. Okay, I should have thought this out because I don't want to lose all that embossing powder. Oh, I know what to do. Let's just scrape it. Spread it out a little. I'm going to lift. Just dump that off. No big deal. It's not like I haven't had this embossing powder for years. And I'll emboss the old-fashioned way. I just want to see if this works. And see where the embossing powder sticks. Oh, it's not melted yet. Oh, it takes a long time to melt with an iron, doesn't it? What's in the bag? Yeah, and yeah, it's embossing powder. That is a where did I put it? This is a baked texture from Seth Apter. It's patina oxide. This came from Emerald Creek. They still are around, but I think now you can get it from Wow. Okay, I'm going to, because this doesn't, I don't have my iron on all the way high, so I'm going to turn it up. And this might not work, but that's why it's called an experiment. I can hear it making sizzling noises. I may have to rethink how you would do this. It's still not melted. And no, it didn't really work, but it's still pretty cool looking. Let's go ahead and get it all the way melted. Yeah, yeah, I have 3 or 4 of them. This isn't the one that I use the most of, though. Oh, you can tell when it's melting. But boy, this is a good way to add color to these, isn't it? I don't know what's in the way there. I can feel something resisting. Yeah, that doesn't work out as a precise at all, but it still works out kind of cool. You want to add some color to these rather than ink. It still kept its translucency. Well, the best I can show you here. Okay, let's give it a little white. Okay, so if you want to color your wax, use your embossing powder because it's not going to give you a precise pattern. Maybe the sandwich would be better. Oh, apparently that's how people used to, you mean like the sandwich maker? You're probably right. You're probably exactly right. That would be the way to go. Let's see here. I don't have a sandwich maker. I mean, I do, but I don't have it handy. Let's do, yeah, apparently that's how they embossed in the olden days. Let's grab just a little. See, there's plenty left over on my this, but it's not melted. Let's make a little line here. And we'll do it like the sandwich maker. I got this crap everywhere. So I'll just turn my iron this way and hold it here and wait for it to melt. Oh my word, that works. How funny. It's just not melted in that one spot. There we go. Okay. Yeah, embossing glaze would be good because it would also be more translucent. So you see where I put the heavier application. That embossing powder actually has little gold or coppery colored flecks in it. Now let's crackle it up. Yeah, it was way before my time for sure. Just crackle it up some more. In case you guys were curious how these things crinkle. And there we've got just an interesting sort of piece of, you know, fodder. Here's one to crackle that. This is 100-pound paper. So when you crackle that with the wax on it, you're going to get white, which is pretty cool. But you know what else is cool? If you iron it, it comes right out. So if you didn't like the way it looked when you crackled it, just iron it. Oh, I got this stuff everywhere. That's fine. Interesting. Oh, okay. No more experiments tonight. Good. So, yay, I only went 5 minutes over the hour. Thank you, everybody, for coming to hang out. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, provided we haven't frozen to death, and I don't think that's supposed to happen until Saturday. So, I'm joking. We're going to be fine. We'll be fine. I hope that you all have a good rest of your evening. Can I use the Tim Holtz sanding disc? Oh, good question. Let me answer that for you. Let's go. Yes. little sandy, little kind of crackly pieces. So that's a piece that I crinkled. Let's try it on a straight piece. What happens? What happens if... So it sands it down to the soft again. And because this is like recycled paper, it's not going to stand up very well to sanding. But yes, you can sand it. Might want to change your disc out afterwards. Anyway, you guys, have a good night. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and all the YouTubey things. I appreciate you all very much for spending your last hour and so with me. And I'll see you guys around the rooms. Take care. Bye-bye.